Today, guys, we're going to work on balancing chemical equations. We've been talking a lot about chemical equations, specifically photosynthesis and respiration, in class recently. And one thing that came up is, how do we balance them? So we're going to go back to the basics here, because trying to balance photosynthesis and respiration without any background knowledge would be very difficult. So I'm going to give you a very simple problem here. I'm on the eraser. That's not going to help me now, is it? I'm going to put Mg, which stands for magnesium, plus O2, which we know represents oxygen, with my arrow, and that produces magnesium oxide. Now, keep in mind that our arrow stands for yields, or produces. So, first step is to identify how many atoms we have on each side of our equation, because the law of conservation states that we have to have an equal number of atoms on each side of the equation. So, I have magnesium and oxygen on my reactant side, and I also have a magnesium and oxygen on my product side. So let's tally up the numbers. We have one magnesium, O2 represents 2 oxygen atoms. I have one more magnesium on my product side, and I also have 1 oxygen on my atom side. So after we do that, step 2 is we're going to take a look at an element that's not equal on both sides. So if I look at what I have here, okay, magnesium is equal. It each has 1. But if I look at oxygen, oxygen's not equal. It's not balanced. I have 2 oxygens on one side and 1 on the other. So I need to balance that out. And what I do is I'm going to add a coefficient in front of the formula with that element so I can adjust my counts. So by adding a 2 in front of magnesium oxide is going to change the number of atoms on the product side of this equation. So 2 times 1 magnesium gives me 2, and 2 times 1 oxygen gives me 2. So I've achieved one of my goals of balancing my oxygens. Okay? However, if you notice, now I've added 1 more magnesium, so that's made that number unbalanced. So next thing I have to do is continue to add coefficients until I have the same number of atoms of each element on each side. So let's take a look at my O2 here. If I added a number to that, that would disrupt what I've already done. Okay? I don't need to touch oxygen because it's already balanced. So now I have to look at magnesium. All right? And I want to get it to 2. So what I'm going to do is add a 2 in front of magnesium, because 2 times 1 equals 2, and then I change it down here, and now I've balanced this chemical equation. So now I have a balanced chemical equation. It gives me 2 atoms of magnesium on each side, and it also gives me 2 atoms of oxygen on each side.